Hello to all of you and welcome to our webinar Get Started with RWS Campus Program, a student guide to Trados technology. My name is Ana Maria Matefi and I am a customer experience representative and I joined the company in 2017. My background is in translations, specialized in Spanish, French and Romanian. Beyond my professional role, I enjoy spending quality time with my daughter and my family, and I'm passionate about crocheting toys for children. The topics for today will be: accept the invite and become an RWS community student member. We will see the benefits and how to get help. Connecting to Trados via the university subscription on the lab PC or on your personal device. Using Trados for translation tasks, meaning accepting a task, working on Trados Cloud or on desktop application. Working with resources, we will see what is a translation memory, a terminology, and machine translation, and how we can use this on the desktop and on the cloud application. We will see the language weaver part that is included on the RWS Campus program, using AI functionality on the translation process, and reviewing and correcting the translation work. Then we will have a section for questions and answers. Let's pass now to the first topic: accept the invite to become an RWS community student member. Here it's important to know the benefits and how to get help. When you are enrolled on an RWS campus program, your professor should provide you a code to complete the enrollment on the RWS community page. Without this code, you will be a general member, but you will not have access to the student section. When you want to become a member, you will use this link and follow the steps that you will see in the first video. It's important to be a student member because you will have access to a forum where you can put a question about general issues or engage in technical discussion. You will have student guides and resources. Here the most important is the purchase with the student discount. The top student awards section. Here is a prize that you can get from your class, from your professor, after you finished a class. We will pass now to the first video to see how to become an RWS community student member. How to create an account for the RWS community student page. Your professor that is part of the RWS academic program will give you this link, community.rws.com, customers, partners, partner groups, RWS campus and students, in order to be able to create an account for you as a student. So you put here your student email and choose a password. A name, in your case you will put your real name, confirm the privacy policy and the terms and conditions, and sign up. You will have this announcement that asks you to confirm the email. And please go to your email and confirm the subscribe. After you verify your email, you can see that you are already part of the RWS community student page. And you will need to click on partners, RWS group, and there you will see this welcome page, where you will need to scroll down and select student. And here you will need to add a key to confirm
the entire subscription. This code will be given to you by your professor in a separate email. You complete here the key, you click on verify and finish. After you complete the key, you will be on the RWS Campus section. You scroll down, you have here all of kind of information for students or about our campus group. And on the bottom of the page, you have the section of students. And here you will see all these tabs with very good information for you. You will have student guides on how to use Trados Studio, multi-turn, the RWS App Store. You will have technical information and also a section for Trados team. You will have a forum section where you can put your questions in order to have contact with other students that are enrolled to the program or with our specialists. You have also the section with student resources where you will get information about ebooks, about internships, about the Trados certifications, and all information that you will need.
The second topic for today is how to connect to Trados via a university subscription. You can log in on the lab PC or on your personal device. Your professor will send you an invitation to join the Trados Cloud software for your university. Once you accept the invitation, you will be able to install and activate the desktop version or activate the cloud version of Trados. The steps that you need to follow is to check the email, confirm the invitation, and then if you don't have an RWS account, you will need to create one using this link and the email that the professor used when he sent you the invite. Then you will receive 2 confirmation emails about details on how to set up the account and another one with additional information about the RWS account. Then you will be able to activate the desktop version and the cloud version using the subscription part. Now we will see how to activate the desktop version. After you install the program, you open the application and you will see here 2 sections, perpetual license or subscription. We will click on the tab subscription and we will follow the steps. We will select the email address and then click on activate. You will see this on the next video that we will roll on, but you can also see the details on this article. If you want to activate Trados Studio Desktop with a subscription, you will go on the product activation window, click on subscription and sign in. Here you will need to add the email that you accepted as part of Trados team. You complete your data and you click on sign in. Now you need to select an account. You will have only one, the predefined one. Okay. And activate. Now you have your Trados Studio desktop version activated and you can start working. Close. And you are here in Trados Studio. We will see now how to log in to Trados Cloud via the university subscription. You can activate and use the cloud version of Trados on either a lab device or your personal device by following these steps. You will use this link eu.cloud.trados.com/lc in order to access the cloud platform. Then you will put the email address you use to enroll in the program and the password you choose to log in. It is very important to know that since the license provided through the RWS Campus program is subscription-based, you will need to log in every time you use Trados, whether in the cloud environment or on the desktop application. We will see the steps for the cloud activation in the following video. If you want to log in to Trados Cloud with the subscription, you will use this link eu.cloud.trados.com/lc and click on enter. Then you will need to complete the email and password that you use for the authentication and for the invite that you receive from the professor. The password. And click on login. As I have several accounts, I will choose the one I am interested in and select account. And now I am logged in with my subscription. As the program offered is subscription-based, you will need to log in each time you will want to use the cloud version. Now we will see how to accept a task that we receive from Trados team. The tasks that are prompted in order to be accepted are the human tasks from the workflow. These are the translation tasks, the linguistic review, and the implementation of linguistic review. On our case, we will work with the translation task. You will see also the accepting a task on the video that follows. And we are talking about the translation task. The first step is the notification that you will receive of a new task. Then you can see that you have two ways to accept a task. One via email, you will receive an email with the link labeled here, or you can do it directly from Trados Cloud interface. You will log in and go to the inbox and select New tab. There you will click on Accept. A confirmation prompt will appear and click again Accept to finalize the process. Then you will start working on the task and you can decide if you want to do the task on the desktop version of Trados Studio or directly in your web browser by selecting Open in Online Editor. Let's see all these steps in the following video. How to accept a task from Trados team. Once a document is ready for translation, you will receive an email that informs you that a new translation task is assigned to you. As you can see in this email, I received the notification email. In the email, we have also some information about the task, such as the name of the project, the file, the language pair, and the word count. You will also have the sentence, click here to view the task in your inbox. If you are logged in Trados team, as I am now, you can see that you have the inbox tab. You click here and you see three new subtabs. Here in new, you have all the projects and tasks that are not accepted yet. On the Active tab, you will have all the tasks accepted and in Completed, all the tasks completed by you. We go back to the New and we select the name of our task and click on Accept. You will be prompted to reconfirm whether you really want to accept this task and we will click on Accept. Now we will pass to Active and we see that our task is already here on Active Task. If we select our task for translation, we can see that we have two possibilities. To open the translation document in Studio, this meaning the Trados Studio desktop version, or to open it in Online Editor, that is the version of Trados team. In this example, we will open the document for translation in Online Editor, and we will see how it's look like. Okay, we will skip. Here we can see our source part and our target part. Our target part is empty because our translation engine has a translation memory with no units, and because we didn't add a machine translation provider to our translation engine. On the next topic, we will talk about the resources and how to work with them on Trados Cloud and on Trados Desktop. We will talk about translation memories, terminology, and machine translation, but also about a translation engine that is a container that includes all those resources on the Trados Cloud application. Without this translation engine, you cannot work with resources on Trados Cloud. In order to create or manage those resources, you will need to have a user that has admin or project manager rights. This is up to the professor to create such a user. We will see details about a translation memory that you know is a database that stores all your source and target segments pair in a central repository. We will talk about the term base, that is like an electronic dictionary that is searched automatically during translation. Now you will be able also to add terms on the fly, also on the cloud version of Trados, if the update button of a term base will be checked, and we will see how to add Language Weaver, the machine translation provided by RWS. Let's pass to the videos. If we are in Trados Cloud and we want to work with resources, meaning with translation memory, term bases, or machine translation provider, we need to know that this will work only if they are included on a translation engine. The translation engine is a container that includes these linguistic resources. So to have a translation engine, we go on the Resources tab, Linguistic Resources, Translation Engines, and click on New Translation Engine. Here you can add the name that you want. For example, Student Demo Translation Engine, English to French. The location will be the one that I want. I choose Testing Anna. Language processing rules is this one, or you can select the default one, but I have one. Then I choose source language English UK, target language French France. For the description is not mandatory, but you can add if you want a description. And then you need to know that the translation engine can also have several language pairs and also several translation memories or term bases. In this case, we will do only with a language pair, and we can click now on Create, or we can add also the resources. The resources can also be added after we create the engine. Here we click on Add Translation Memory, and we will create one from scratch. Student Demo TM English French. The description is not mandatory, but if you want, you can add it. The location is recognized from our translation engine. We need to add the source language. the same as the one of the translation engine and the target. Then we click on plus to add our language pair, language processing rule and file templates. We will choose this, the default. Click on create. Our translation memory will be created and it will be empty. We need to be sure that lookup, concordance, search and update are selected. And then we go further for the machine translation model. I choose the first one, click on add, and then I go to the turn-based section. Here the same, we can use one that we have already created. I will choose this one, or we can create one from scratch. Regarding the turn-based, you need that you can add terms on the turn-based before opening the document for translation. But if you select this update button, you will be able to add terms also during the translation process. Now I have added my turn-based and I click now on create and I will have my translation engine. This one is my translation engine that I just created. If I feel I want to add a translation memory or another machine translation provider or another turn-based, I just click on this case. I select the translation engine and click on edit. And here I can add what I want. Cancel. The same, you will be able to do modification to the translation engine from the settings section of your project. Let's see how to work with resources in Trados Cloud version. The most important resources that we will see will be translation memories, terminology meaning turn bases, and machine translation provided by our Language Weaver product. In order to be able to manage and add terms to the resources, you will need to have admin or project manager rights, meaning that your professor, even if he set up you as a translator, he needs to give these rights to the user profile. You will see that if you have these rights, you can create a translation memory and a turn-based, or you can use directly the ones created by the professor because you will have access to the location where the resources are saved. The language models of the machine translation will be automatically provided in your profile, but you can also train the language models. We go now on Trados online editor. We select our project and we will choose to open it in the online editor because we will work on the cloud version for now. And now my translation is open in the online editor, and we can see that we have the same format as in Trados Studio. In the left hand we have the source document, and here the target part where we will need to put our translation. My translation engine doesn't have a translation memory with segments, so I will need to start typing manually my translation, or I can add a machine translation provider, our Language Weaver, in order to have some suggestions. Here in the lookup panel, I can see that I don't have anything added to my project. I will go in Projects View and Settings, and here in the translation engine, I will scroll down in order to add a machine translation provider. I choose the generic one and click on Add. Then, in order to be able to add terms on the fly on my turn base, I will need to choose the Update button. and save. Now, if I go back on my project, I can see that I have the first suggestion for my translation from machine translation, the generic one that I added. I can see here the details from where the suggestion comes, and with Ctrl Enter I can confirm my segment. Now, this segment will be saved in my translation memory. If I go on the second one and accept all the suggestions that I have from the machine translation, I can see on the segment 3 that I have two results. I have the one from my translation memory, medical TM, English, French, and here Trados does the correction needed. And if I am okay with this, I will accept this translation, or I can still go with the machine translation one. In this case, I will accept the one from the translation memory and click on Enter, Control Enter, sorry. The same for the fourth segment and so on. Now I want to show you how to add a term on the fly on your turn base. We know that we have a turn base added to our translation engine, and I want to add this traduire word on my turn base. I select the word, and I need to be sure that I do not depass the icon. Here I have add term, and in order to select the word in the source, I will click here, go on the source and select the term, and it will be populated in the source part of the term base, and I will click add term. My term, as you can see in the lookup window, is added to my term base. As you can see, we saw how these three resources work in Trados Cloud version. Language Weaver is a secure, adaptive, and fully scalable machine translation provider designed for seamless integration and optimal performance. We offer this machine translation provider for all our users, even if they use the cloud version or the desktop version. You will see on the following video how to activate it and how to use it during the translation process. How Trados team works with machine translation. We will create a new project by completing all the mandatory fields, and here we put the name, machine translation demo. The location will be the same as our resources. Language source, language English, target language French. For due date and time, we leave it like proposed. File type configuration, the default one. And we go to add the document for translation. Open, and then we go next to translation engine page. And here we will scroll down to machine translation section and click add machine translation model. Here we have the provider used by RWS Language Weaver. We select the first one and click on add. Now we can see that we have Language Weaver added to our translation engine, and we go next for the workflow and click and start for creating our translation project. Now we can see on the list that our project is created. If I go on my inbox as a translator in the new section, I can see that I have the task name translation for the project machine translation demo. I click on it and accept. I accepted the translation work. And now I select this
project. In order to open it, I can open it in Trados Studio or in Online Editor. And in this case, I will open it in Online Editor to see how the machine translation provider worked. As we have a machine translation provider, the task will be prompted on all the segments for which no TM matches could be found. This means that any segment that do not have an exact or a fuzzy match in the translation memory will be pre-populated with a machine translation. In our case, the translation memory is still empty, so the machine translation should translate all the document. We click on Open. And we can see that all our segments are translated by the machine translation. We can do an editing task for this machine translated file. On the next topic, we will see how to use AI functionality in the translation process on Trados Studio desktop application. Here we will talk about OpenAI provider for Trados app. The OpenAI provider for Trados integrates OpenAI's advanced language models with Trados Studio Leading Cat tool, advancing your translation with smart automation and precision. In order to use this app, you will need to download it from the App Store. Here is the link. The app is for free, but in order to be able to use it, you need to have a subscription with OpenAI or Azure OpenAI. This subscription is a paid one. For other details about the AI, you will see these two links that are very detailed. Now, on the following video, we will see how to use these resources on Trados desktop application. We will see now how to work with resources on Trados Studio desktop application. We have a project on Trados Cloud and we accepted the translation task, and we will click on Open in Studio and then open Trados Studio. As you can see, we will open Trados Studio 2024, our latest version of the product. If you are a student and you are on an RWS Campus program, you will receive the latest version of Trados Studio. On Trados Studio, on the project view, we can see that our task is ready and we will click on Start Work. We go on the File view and with double click we will open the document for translation on the Editor view. On the Editor view, we can see the same structure. On the left part we have the source segments and on the right part we have the target segments where we will add our translation. The column from the middle, you will see while we translate that we will see the origin and the provider of the details that we added on the segment for the target. On our case, we don't have any suggestion because the translation engine for our project has a translation memory empty, and also we didn't add any machine translation provider to the engine. We will go now on project settings and we will add the machine translation providers directly from Trados desktop. Here we are on the section translation memory and automated translations, and we can see our medical translation engine from the cloud. We will use file-based translation memory section if you want also to add a translation memory that we have on our PC and that we want to populate. On this case, we will not add a new translation memory. We will use the one from the engine, but we will use cloud-based resources. This is the Language Weaver provider offered by RWS. Here you can see that the language path is recognized and we will click on Save. Trados Desktop offers you also the possibility to add a plugin named OpenAI Provider for Trados. This is only valid for the latest version, meaning Trados 2024, and can be used as a machine translation provider.
If you want to use it, you need to know that you will need a paid subscription for OpenAI or Azure OpenAI. Now I have here the 3 resources that I want to show you for this translation exercise. The order that I have here will also be valid for the suggestions, meaning if I have some segments on the translation memory, this will be the first suggestion, then the language weaver provider, and then OpenAI. If we go here on turn basis, we can see that the cloud turn base is also added to my project settings. I click on OK and I go back to the editor view to start working. Now, as we added some machine translation providers, we can see that in the first segment we have a suggestion. This is the first one from machine translation because this was the first one on the list on project settings. If I go on the second one, I can see the provider change. We have now OpenAI. If I decide that the second one is best for me, I go here and use this icon, and the translation will be changed also on my segment. If I go on the column of the middle, I can see that the origin is neural machine translation and the provider is OpenAI. If I want this segment to be also on my translation memory, I will press Ctrl plus Enter and populate my translation memory with the first translation unit. Now I am on the second segment and I can see here 2 words with red brackets. This means that these 2 words are also added to my turn base. Here on turn recognition window, we have the suggestion from the turn base. I will also show you how to add words on the turn base during translation. We will choose completely on the source part, press Ctrl, then select the corresponding word on the target part, and then right click and choose Add New Term. This will open the turn base viewer and we can see that the term is already added to the turn base. Now on the middle you can see that we have several suggestions. Here if we go with the mouse we can see this one is from the translation memory. It's an auto-propagating segment. Here also machine translation, here also translation memory. And you will continue like this until finishing the translation. In this case, I show you how to work with resources on Trados Desktop with a cloud project. But you can use the same resources if you have a project that you created on Trados Desktop or a project package that you receive and you can only open on Trados Desktop. On Trados Cloud, we can only talk about an AI assistive help that is represented by Trados Copilot. This function brings pioneering generative help capabilities to every studio user. It brings AI into the work experience to help guide you through the Trados Cloud experience. This is the icon that you will find on the upper right hand here. You will open it and here on this case you can ask your question. For example, I put here how to add my translation memory to a project and Copilot will answer you with step-by-step information on how to do it. Now we will pass to the other topic of the day and we will talk about review and correct the translation work. The review is the second task that we can do on Trados Cloud or on Trados Desktop. The process of opening a document for review is the same as the one for translation, but we will be on the file view here and we will right-click the project or the document and open for review. On the editor, we will have the same structure. On the left hand, we will have the source. On the right hand, we will have the target part. And on the column of the middle, we will have the status of each segment. When you open a document for review, the track change functionality is enabled by default. You can enable or disable this function from the Review tab, here from the Review tab on the ribbon. When you confirm a segment in the review mode, this will be marked up with Translation Approved status. Changes are tracked just like in Word, meaning deletions are crossed out and insertions are underlined as you type. Hovering the mouse pointer over a change string will display a tooltip with information such as when the change was made and by whom. If you choose a segment without confirming it, and you change something, it will have the translation status reject. You can add comments on this bilingual file. You can also extract the file to a bilingual Microsoft Word document, which can be shared with a reviewer that doesn't have Trados Studio. If you do that, the reviewer will have a document with side-by-side display, and also he will have the rejected changes, reflected comments from what you have in Trados Studio. The review can make changes on the bilingual Word file, and then you will be able to import the review Word file in Studio, incorporating the changes and comments made by the reviewer. You will need to resolve the track changes by accepting or rejecting them in Studio, but this will not automatically confirm the segments. You will need to do it manually. And at the end of the review process, you can finalize the file or the project in order to update the translation memory with the fully reviewed and approved content. This is how it looks like in Trados desktop application, but the same process you can do on Trados Cloud. The view is just a little bit modified, but the process is the same. We will pass now to the Q&A section.